Good morning from the top of Unaka Mountain. Got into camp last night. Honestly, I think all of us were laying down in our tents by 5:30 just because we knew we had weather coming in. Got a little bit of rain over the night, nothing crazy. And then woke up this morning to a thunderstorm over our heads. So getting out of camp took a little bit longer than usual. But honestly, I think it's not even 8 o'clock yet and we're up and running, so it's not bad. Small break in the weather. And then I think we have another thunderstorm hitting us like early afternoon. So just trying to put in as many miles as possible. I think our plan is 18 to another tent site on Roan Mountain, and tomorrow we're gonna go into the station at 19E, which is just another one of those iconic places that we've heard about a million times, and it lines up nicely with another, I think, 18 or 19 mile day tomorrow. But hopefully the weather holds out long enough for us to put some mileage in. What a morning. It has been 2.5, 3 hours, something like that, since the last little clip. And it has been non-stop. Just fighting my way through. I mean, honestly, the trail's pretty maintained where there is required bushwhacks, quote unquote bushwhacks. You know, 150, 200 people have already gone through ahead of me. There is a well-worn path. But I'll tell you, it's been pouring. It just laid up. Been pouring all day. And navigating through all this stuff through the rain has been miserable. Because mud sucks. I would rather hike through snow and ice than wet mud any day. I remember that from my hikes in Hawaii, how much I fucking hated hiking through mud. That hasn't changed. So that complicated the morning, but I think I got like another mile or so. I mean, it's been 5 miles of, I'm not sure if you can see everything behind me, but it's been 5 miles of just non-stop trees down everywhere. Like, I know the last video was titled Helene Ravaged, but this is by far the worst section. Wish I could have showed you more, but again, it was just a downpour and I wasn't gonna pull my phone out during that. So, we soldier on. Can't wait for lunch. These little fellas remind me of my childhood. Hey, little guy. So we just stopped for lunch with the boys after the big closure reroute section. I forgot to tell you guys about this. We came up with a new idea for lunch, Flyer and I. He'd been mentioning that he was bringing Hawaiian sweet rolls out as a nice, good carb for the day. I'd been bringing bagels. But sweet rolls sounded like an idea. And then I got a better idea to buy a summer sausage and a big old block of cheese and turn that pack of Hawaiian sweet rolls into 12 little sandwiches, sliders, whatever. And man, that is like 3 of those for lunch with some wheat thins is a treat. Highly recommend. A brief glimpse into what today has looked like. Yep, I don't see anything either, except a lot of rain. Well, today has been rough. Like, the terrain has been rough. I mean, it was a torrential downpour for, I mean, probably 7 or 8 of the 9 hours I was hiking. Like, I think we had a small, like 45-minute gap. I don't know where the fuck that stopped. A raindrop just fell on my fucking screen and paused it, because why not? Just add to the day. Anyway, we had like a 45-minute gap of rain. We all snuck lunch in, got some more water. But then, I mean, within 10 minutes of getting back on trail, it was torrential downpour for the next 4 hours. And that just made the terrain very slick and rough, and it's already just rocky and craggy and rooty and shitty. So it's just worn out my feet and my ankles and my hips and my back and shoulders. Funny, not my thighs or quads or hamstrings. Like, my climbing muscles are good. It's my walking muscles that are dying. I think I got like a quarter mile to camp. Hopefully the rain continues to hold off so I can at least pitch my tent and keep it dry. Who knows? I just want to lay down and go to sleep. I don't need to eat, so I'm gonna do that. But I don't want to. I just want my feet and ankles, I want my ankles to stop hurting. It's tough. Like, I'm taking the smallest little baby steps right now, because I just don't have the energy to step any faster. Anyway, sorry to be a bummer on the first day of the video. It's just been, I mean, I shouldn't complain. It's the first real shitty weather day I've had. And I mean, you know, I'm a couple of days away from a month on trail. So I've been really, really lucky until now. But that doesn't change the fact that today has absolutely sucked. A little insight into my breakfast. That's got instant coffee, Carnation Breakfast Essentials, and some powdered peanut butter. And then that chocolate peanut butter stuff goes on a bagel. It's like 20 degrees right now. It's fucking cold. Good morning from the top of Roan High Knob. It was a slow start to the day. I mean, the rain held off last night, so I got to set up my tent before it started raining again. But then it started raining again, and I don't know when it stopped. Sometime in the middle of the night. But I do know that we all woke up. Everything, and I mean everything, was covered in a sheet of ice. And I'm telling you right now, it makes packing up camp so much harder. I'm not sure if you ever tried to untie a frozen knot with numb fingers before. It's not a good time. Usually takes me 45 minutes to an hour from wake up to make breakfast to being packed up and hiking. This morning was a little over 2 hours, just because I had to stop every 30 seconds and, you know, cup your hands together and breathe into them just to try to warm them up. It was rough. I've said my biggest fear on this trail is ticks, and that remains true. But I've also said that my number 2 fear on this trail is being simultaneously cold and wet. And that was this morning. It kicked my ass. Man, look at that though. That is nuts. Anyway, sorry for leaving that little explicative fueled tirade in the last video, or the last clip. It was just, you know, I try to keep my calm and show you guys how exhausted I was without showing you just how fucking angry and frustrated I was. But when that raindrop fell on my phone, I just lost it. It was just the straw that broke the camel's back. It's warming up now. I feel like we finally crested into the 40s probably. We got 18-mile day today, ending at the station at 19E, which apparently has the best mac and cheese in the world. And man, nothing's gonna motivate me more to push through these 18 miles than knowing I got some badass mac and cheese waiting for me at the end. Also, quick clarification. Number 1 concern, feet. Number 2 concern, brown blazing. Number 1 fear, ticks. Number 2 fear, cold and wet. Slight distinction, but very important. We are truly on an island in a sea of clouds. I have no idea what this camera's picking up because the sun was in my face. But I know that everywhere I look, it's just clouds. So that little bald spot right there is where I filmed the Sea of Clouds earlier. A couple hours ago. Now we're back to here. I went over that one, and then down, and then back up and around here. But here's what the world looks like when it's not covered in clouds. Stark difference. That's the last climb of the day. It's a big one. We got this. So, this is my first time climbing a, you know, treeless, completely barren mountain. And I don't know whether I like it or not. It's got pros and cons. The pro being, you know exactly how much you have left. And the con being you know exactly how much you have left. Well, as always, if I get up this high, I gotta do the big spinny circle-y view. And for posterity's sake, 55, 87. Well, after, I don't know, 2-ish weeks, I have finally finished the North Carolina, Tennessee dance. If you don't know, the trail kind of just runs along the border for hundreds of miles. Like from the Smokies, like the beginning of the Smokies, until the sign I passed 100 yards ago. I am now officially out of North Carolina and in Tennessee for like 3 days. Then I'll be in Virginia. Whatever, one more state, done. Well, it's official. I weigh less now than I did when I went to basic training. Good morning. From, I don't know what day it is. Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Stayed at the Appalachian Station at 19E last night. Super cool hostel. Got to hang out with a whole bunch of people. Ran into some guys I haven't run into since before the Smokies, or maybe it was in the Smokies. Made some plans for the rest of this week. More to come on that. Today we're doing 18 and change again like we did yesterday. Except yesterday there was a couple of climbs and it was mostly downhill. Today's kind of the opposite. And we got 15 tomorrow into Boots Off Hostel. And at that point, we'll make the decision on the plans I alluded to previously. I got an Airbnb in Damascus for the group of us for a couple days, just so we can all hang out and relax after the run into Damascus, basically. And it's about that time. And I think I'm gonna have a lot better time taking a zero if I'm sharing it with other people. So that's gonna be a good time. Last night, man, this place had this hiker mac and cheese. It was basically just really, really good mac and cheese covered in sauced up chicken and thick cut bacon. It was delicious. And then they had a ton of beers, like craft beers and just random variety of stuff. And they had a 20-sided die, a D20 for those who get that. You could just roll. And they would randomly just put 20 beers in this box, slap a number on them. Whatever number you rolled, you got that beer. And you know, it was like $3 for that versus $5 for actually buying the beer. So it was just fun to roll the die a couple times and just get random beers. Food was good, company was great, and then we shot darts till like 10 o'clock at night. And then this morning had biscuits and gravy, scrambled eggs, scones. It's just a really, really good time in this hostel. Yeah, great day to make up for the shitty day beforehand. Now today remains to be seen. The skies are quite gray. Forecast said 40% chance of rain, which I'm pretty sure in the mountains means 140% chance of rain, but hopefully it's not too much. We can stay kind of dry and get to camp and have a good time. Well, no marker for this one, but just past 400 miles. One more milestone down. Next one is going into Virginia, which should be Saturday morning-ish. Saturday sometime, we'll see. Good morning. Weather held off great yesterday, honestly. But honestly, other than that, it was a pretty uneventful day. Just kind of a head down and get her done kind of day. My shoulder, that I was going to physical therapy for, that was probably my worst day for my shoulder yesterday. That is one concern. Especially because I have almost no food in my pack, so it's very light. So I'm not really sure why my shoulder was hurting so bad. Today is a quote-unquote easy day, according to my scale. We have like 14.7 into Boots Off Hostel, which is a weird hostel. It's the only place I've been to so far that doesn't have a bunkhouse. You just pay them to pitch your tent on the grounds, or you pay them a whole bunch to sleep in a cabin that sleeps up to 4, even though it looks like it's just 2 twin beds. So we'll call that 2, and it's $100, kind of cracked. But laundry, shower, food, stuff, and we get to rest and recover and prepare for the final push to Damascus. So I just had a fun realization. I started this trail April 4th. Nope. I started this trail March 4th. Today's April 3rd. Today's the last day of my first month on the trail. That's a cool feeling. I've been out here for a month. And, you know, they say the honeymoon phase, or the, you know, the super excited phase kind of wears off pretty early, usually after the first couple of weeks, but I'm still loving every day out here. There's no question in my mind that I'm going to be finishing this hike. Obvious, unless something catastrophic happens in life and or I get hurt. But even if I get hurt, I mean, if it's not like a hurt, all my family lives around here. I can just go stay with them for a week or whatever and then come back. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything to stop me. I'm certainly not over it mentally. Every day ends with a smile. Even that miserable day the other day that was rainy and shitty and horrid, as soon as I got in my tent and got my wet clothes off and made some food, I was fine. I was just hangry, cold, and wet, and it was a bad day, but it still ended perfectly fine. That's all that matters.
I mean, how can you be over it when the trail brings you right to this? If I started a month earlier, I'd be swimming right now.
No, I should not be recording this while I do it, but it's interesting. Whew. Oh, this is the trail. There's the blaze. I get to share a lot of mountaintop views and vistas. Not a lot of interesting water. This is a cool day. It's unique. I like it. Ugh. Whee! Good morning. It is 8 a.m. April 4th, 1 month after I started the trail. And we are 7.5 miles into our day already. Coincidentally, the 1 month thing just happened to work out, but I'm trying my first challenge today. And that challenge is called Damascus Dash. Now, there is a shelter that is exactly 26.2 miles short of Damascus. And that is where you start the Damascus Marathon. That's not what we're doing. There is a hostel 42.7 miles short of Damascus. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to do 42 miles today. My longest hike so far was 24. This is gonna be a thing. I don't know if I'm gonna make it or not. The title of this video is gonna say, I attempt my first challenge and then recover. So you're not gonna know, I'm not gonna know. We'll know together later on today. I think our plan with the pace we want to keep puts us in town at like midnight. You know, if we do 2 mile an hour, we started, well, probably a little after midnight. We started at like 5 a.m. So yeah, we'll get there early in the morning. This is gonna be a crazy day. Well, we're cruising along. We're 19 miles in, 8.5 hours. We've taken 2 like good long food breaks, rest breaks. Better pace than we were expecting. Going well so far. I think it's pretty safe to think that at this point we're gonna make it. It's got less than 10 miles left, and it's the sun's still up, kind of. So yeah, we're gonna cruise on into town and just take it easy. Well, we finished.
Fucking made it.
We're in Damascus.
We made it. It was easy.
Good morning. Well, as you saw, broken and battered, we crossed the line last night. I don't know why I so cockily said that with 10 miles to go that we were done, because those last 10 miles sucked. My feet have never hurt worse. We got into town at like 11 o'clock at night. Nothing's open. So we had to walk to a baseball field and sleep in a dugout, because otherwise we'd get arrested probably. Now we're just trying to get some breakfast and waiting for our Airbnb to allow us in. Well, spending our technically second zero here in Damascus. I was right. It's way better when you're spending the time with people. There was like 10 of us in the Airbnb last night. People just cooking and hanging out and having a good time. So that was a much better way to spend a day off. Feet are feeling a bit better. I think I'm gonna have to pull those insoles out of my shoes. That's just a decision I'm gonna have to make. They just aren't a snug fit, and that little bit of extra space is just enough to make my foot overlap it when it swells, and then it just pinches and pinches and pinches, and that's not gonna work for big mile days. So we're gonna try a few days without them. I feel like my feet have probably gotten strong enough to you know, take walking a long time, just not 40 miles, because that's just more than you're supposed to walk. Well, we have officially had our first casualty of the crew. Flyer got into town last night, and his shin ankle area was like super swollen and red and looking like possible stress fracture. Kind of a slap in the face or you know, whatever. Reminder that we're not invincible. His family lives close by, so his mom and sister and her husband came and picked him up. He's gonna be recovering for a few days at least. I don't know. I hope he does well. Hope he plays it smart. You know, he's not as young as, I mean, hell, even me, and I'm older than everyone else here, so I know he wants to get done in time to get back, because he has to start teaching again in mid-August, so that's just gonna be his goal. We're way ahead of pace for that. He only started a couple days before me, so he's got time. He's got time to rest and recover and get back out there and take it at a slightly slower pace and still get it done in time. Yeah, but it makes me want to slow it down, quit pushing as much. And I think it's kind of going to be the play. I was talking to No Way the other day, and we were just talking about how we're kind of outrunning all the fun. And, you know, we're not in that much of a hurry, as you guys have heard me say 1,000 times, so it sucks to lose Flyer. He's a good dude, but he'll get it done. He'll be back, and if we slow down, maybe he'll catch up. In the meantime, this is probably going to be the end of this week's video, which is unfortunate. It started with a shitty rainy day, and now it's ending with, well, it's going to be a rainy day here shortly, but, you know, bad news on what was supposed to be a fun weekend. But we made it to Damascus. Hooray. Tomorrow we get to go into the Grayson Highlands, and we would be playing with the ponies, but it's going to be something like 20 degrees. It's going to be a chilly couple of days. But for now, we're going to make dinner and just keep hanging out and enjoy the last few hours we have in our Airbnb. In the meantime, I will see you folks. Well, I won't see you at all, but whatever. I will make another video, and you will see me again in about a week.